Okay kids, welcome back to the shop. Sorry about that shadow. I'm not sure. Anyhow. Okay kids, welcome back to the shop. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a fixture to hold all thread so I can chase the threads. Here's the nuisance thing about all thread. All thread's great. I love it. Some people hate it. But it's great for fixturing things. If I have to make, if I have to clamp something down, this is, I don't know, 2.5 feet long. So I could fixture things. Also, I can use it, at the drill press. Now these are actually clamps that you can buy, the thread, but I can use all thread with my T-nuts and clamp things down. That's the idea. But here's the problem is sitting in the shop, see it rusts, okay? And sometimes it gets dinged up, and then what you have to do is you have to chase the threads, right? And everyone's like, oh yeah, just chase the threads, it's no big deal. Well, what happens is you go to put the die on, and it starts to go now, and then it stops, right? And then you're like, okay, throw it in the vise. Well, if we throw it in the vise, it's going to booger up the threads, right? And then the other thing is when you clamp something round, it doesn't clamp it. It actually spins. And then if you put it in the lathe, it does the same thing. It actually screws in. So what I'm going to make, well, before we get started, now here's another one too. So here's some galvanized, right? And with galvanized, it's galvanized and it's a coating, so it makes the threads thicker. And these, I thought I had a bolt here. But if you notice, watch this. This is a half 13. This all thread was 7/16 14. This is a half 13, and it doesn't even go on, okay? And that's because of this coating. So if you don't need galvanized, which most of us don't, you need to run the die through, get rid of the galvanized coating. A lot of my all thread is I get for free. If I see it laying around, I grab it. I search dumpsters for it. So this is big for me, being able to hold the all thread and to thread it. Now that's a lot of yapping. So what we're going to make a fixture that goes into the lathe, and the all thread is going to screw into the fixture, okay? And then once it's in at the other end, we're going to use my die holder that I made in previous videos, and then we are going to chase these threads, okay? So essentially what's going to happen is this is going to go in, maybe an inch or so. It's going to jam in there. It'll hold it. Now here's the other problem. Like I said, holding round things it sucks. It doesn't work very well. I've had it. You've seen other videos, my videos and other people's, where you try to do that, and it'll actually spin in the lathe chuck. I probably could just keep this round and really clamp this down and make the fixture. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mill some flats on here at 120 degrees. I'm going to tap this end for the 7/16 14, like I said, maybe about an inch in. This side I'm going to tap for a half 13. So this will be a dual fixture, if you want to call it that. All right, so that's enough yapping. I already measured off 3 inches roughly. Let's go to the milling machine. We're going to mill in 3 flats. I'm just going to, when I get there, I'm going to kind of guesstimate, this is a ½ inch. So we just have to make sure we don't end up into the threads. I don't think I have to come down maybe, I don't know, I have no idea. 50 thousandths, 100 thousandths maybe for each 20 degrees. I just need enough for that 3-jaw chuck to really grip onto that. All right, let's head off to the milling machine. Obviously, we're back at the mill. And I'm not so sure if you guys can see that, but way down there is my dial indicator. I have it set at 50 thousandths. And I plan on taking a total of 150 thousandths. So I plan on taking a total of 150 thousandths. I could probably take, with that carbide tip, I could probably take 100 thousandths at a time. But I'm not. I'm going to take 50 thousandths. So 3 cuts. I rotate it 120 degrees. I could set up my indexing head, rotary table. You know, I have that table that spins up this way. But I just have, I believe I have a block that's 120. Quick and dirty. It doesn't have to be precise. I wanted to tell you guys something else. Let's see if we can do this. Look, ow, jeez. Look, it's blue Mexican weather. That's right. I think we only get like 2 weeks out of the year here where I can wear my moccasins and shorts, but it is moccasin weather. Enough silliness. Can you guys see that down there? We're going to make that up to 0. That's another 50. And that should be it. I have my digital angle finder set at 120 degrees. So I just rotate the part in the vise, take my angle finder, throw it on the table. This is good enough. You know, this doesn't have to be real precise. So what I was using to get the angle is a digital angle ruler. Got this from Amazon, my favorite place. And let's see here, you just turn it on. And of course it didn't save the angle. That's one downfall. But so we can adjust this now. Let's just, jeez. Holy cow. So it's like any other angle finder. We can zero it right here, right? And then you come up and you find whatever angle, like if you want a 30-degree angle. Let's tighten that up a little bit. And we just tighten it down, and there's your 30-degree angle. This is good. This is a nice, quick and dirty for what we were doing there. I just wanted to show you this. All right, this looks pretty good. I made it a hex, right? Milled it 120, 120, 120, 120, 120. So what I ended up doing to figure that out, I took 360 divided by 3, which is equal 120. And that, therefore I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. 3 times 2 is 6. So what I should have done, if I really wanted just 3 sides, I should have milled it flat, right? And I would have came over 240 degrees, milled it here, come over 240 degrees, milled it there. That way the 3-jaw chuck would have clamped on like that. But it's no big deal. This works the same way because the 3-jaw chuck is just going to clamp like that, but now I can orientate it anyway. Just a little bit of math there for you. So now we're going to drill this in. Let's see, what am I going to do here? I'm probably going to drill this end. Nope, I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to take it to the bandsaw. I'm going to whack it. We'll face that end. I'll drill this end and that end, all right? And I'm not going to show you the bandsaw because I never show you the horizontal bandsaw. Okay, there you go. It looks pretty good. So let's figure out what size drill bit we need. So we were half. Hopefully you guys can see this. See my drill chart. We could go to the machinist handbook, but this is a nice chart to have. We need a 1/2 inch, half. I've got to be here somewhere. Shout it out if you see it. Got to be right here. 1/2 13. We need 27/64. So let's find 27. Here's 25, 27/64. So that's 27/64. And then we need 7/16. 14. That's a U. Here, U's over here. Letters are over here. A U got to be right here. There we go. Okay. U and 27/64. All right, let's head off to the lathe. I face it off. I step drill it. I drill it with a 27/64. And I tap it for 1/2 13. This is harder than it should be. I always think I should up a size on the drill bit. Okay, the 1/2 13 side is done. Now let's do the 7/16 side. I don't film it. Okay, kids, what I did was I heated, is that right? I took my own advice and I bumped this up. I drilled this as a V, and mostly because for what I'm doing, I don't need the tight tolerance. And when I was over at the lathe, this actually was a lot easier. So let's do this first. And we're going to see here. It's already easier. It's a lot easier. So for what I'm doing, this isn't going to be a big deal. You can have a little bit of slop. Tell you the truth, I bet there isn't that much slop in here. And it is tapping a lot easier. And I don't have to worry about breaking a tap, which you guys seen me break taps before. I'll tell you what, there isn't much slop there. I mean, well, it's going to definitely work. It's definitely going to work for what I need it for. But I might have to do this more often. Okay, so let's. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. Let's head off to the lathe and let's see how this thing works. Okay, homemade die holder, sort of kind of homemade. And 1/2 inch, right? We're going to start with a 1/2 inch because it is a smaller rod. And we are just going to thread that in like that. And I'm sure it's going to... Alright, so we're out of whack already. Huh, that's not good. Why are we so out of whack? Probably because the rod's bent? Do you think the rod's bent? Do you think I tapped it crooked? let's do that. Okay, so remember what we need to do here is this has to hit that, right? I'm going to try to help it get started here because of, let's see, ready? Push it a little bit here too. Watch, this thing's going to fly around. Shut you guys off. So what I did was I clamped down the tailstock, because really this is supposed to thread on, and you saw that before. This is probably out of whack. I'm pretty sure I tapped it straight, but it is working. I just have to try to keep my
coming through. Yeah, the rod's supposed to come through, but it's bent, so it's out of whack. You know what I mean? I really don't want to try to hold it. I wonder if I could. That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. I could probably bring this in and hit this. Let's see. Let's see. I do that. That might work. That's crazy enough. That just might work. There we go. We still gotta keep up with it.
Alright, I'm going to call that a success. And, you know, when I was machining this, I'm sure it's not perfect. Maybe that's why it's wobbling a little bit, but that's okay. Now, I'm sure you guys are saying, alright, Eric, how are you going to get this out? Because you know it's jammed in. I am going to use a pipe wrench, and let's try that. Sometimes that works. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to modify that. So let's try that. That might work. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? That didn't work. I'm not sure why this isn't working when I put it here. This should hold it. See, look how. There you go. It bent it. Wow. Okay, well, I think I'm not sure what rethink this. Everything went flying out. There's all kind of stuff here. I gotta bring it back. All right, this looks a little hokey, but I got 7/16 in here. I got my drill chuck. So the idea is I'm gonna hold it, right? Put the die here, and I'm going to have to feed it with the tailstock. So let's see here. I got to get this. All right, so I got to get this end started. So I got to get this started, right? And then I need to get that. Then I do that. That's what we're going to try to do here. Let's try. I don't know. Pressure on it. It's working. This is actually working really well. Again, I don't know how I'm going to back it off. All right, we're getting somewhere. The problem I have now is how am I going to back it off? Let's leave it locked and let's reverse it and then undo it. You have to really keep up with it. There you go. It's pushing it back. All right, I think we got this figured out. Could probably get cocky and kick up the RPMs to get out. All right, so we're getting towards the end here, and I do not want, I'm not sure, I don't think I explained, but this hex wouldn't go into my chuck, so that's why I got a 7/16, because remember this is tapped for a 7/16, and it happened to be perfect. So it held it for the 1/2 inch size. And it's just a regular bolt, grade 8 bolt, so I'm sure I can make something a little bit better. Let's get this apart. Let's do the other side. And the other reason this will work is because I have a through spindle. This is a gunsmithing lathe. And you see right here, the longer rods will come through. Only limitations is my bolt cap. Alright guys, I'm going to call that a success. A little bit of failure. There's a learning curve. We could still use it here. You know, the all thread, I can cut that. Obviously I didn't do that long one because I'm going to have to do a little bit more ciphering with this. I might have to cut it down. I'm not so sure, but it'd probably work. Just to reiterate, is remember with this galvanized coating, a regular 1/2 inch nut will not go on there. After chasing it with a 1/2 inch die, look at that. So, like I said, that is definitely a success. And I have, 3 of these to do. And this 1/2 inch actually fits, it actually fits my hold down clamps for the mill. So, all right, guys, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Like I said, I think it was a success. There's always a learning curve when you're making something that hasn't been made before. At least I don't think it's been made. I think it worked out really well. It looks good. And it's in good shape. Nothing's destroyed. You know? Alright? As always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe.